Good Sunday afternoon to everyone on our regular Rewards Master Live that we have pretty much every Sunday, 2:30 in the afternoon. Let me see if we have anybody in here waiting. I know we already got one comment and greeting here. Yeah, we got about 7 to 10 who have already joined in. Free Music 7307. Good to have you here. Free Music says, hello, RM World. Well, I don't know if it's a whole world, but a little corner of the world, maybe. I guess that's how we could say it. Nuracan, how are you, my Las Vegas friend? How's it going, sir? Going good. Going good. Then we have Chachi81, a channel member. Thank you for that. Good to have you here. Clapping emoji, that's pretty good. Dim, my prestige buddy, always here. Waving hello. To Larry 73, another channel member. Thank you for that. How are you doing today, Bop? I am doing fantastic. The sun is shining. It's kind of cold. There's kind of a cold wind, but you wouldn't know it by looking out the window. It is gorgeous here. And so it's good. Got out of church today and went out to my car and thought I'm going to enjoy walking out there, and then the wind just about cut right through me. So yeah, but besides that, it's okay. Dim, just for your information, Philip has a live going at the same time. I guess Philip forgets that I do this at 2:30 every single Sunday afternoon. Okay. Hopefully he'll remember. All right. Stinky Monkey Baby, best name on the internet, says hello. Good to have you here. A-Tier 50. Hey, good to see you, A-Tier channel member. Good afternoon. I'm testing out the free Wi-Fi on AA heading to Puerto Rico. I had it for the first time on my last flight going to Las Vegas, and it was not fast, but it was free. So, hopefully yours will be slightly faster. I mean, if you're streaming something, apparently it is because you're watching a YouTube stream. So that's good. And my friend Juan Garcia gifts 5 Rewards Master memberships. That is amazing. Thank you. That supports the channel so much. My membership is growing exponentially, and I'm hoping people are enjoying that. I've kind of committed to give at least, last week I did 2 members videos. I'm trying to do at least 1 every time. I try to early release for everybody. Also, I hope that all the members will look into Spreadsheet Warriors. We had our first Spreadsheet Warrior time together yesterday afternoon where we did a Zoom session. It was I think everybody enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely because we were able to see each other face to face and bounce things off one another, ask questions live, react to one another. It's really cool. And that's available with the Spreadsheet Warriors tier. So you can check that out if anybody's interested in that. We had several of us in there. It was really good. So thank you again, Juan. M Forte 8026. Hey Forte says, hello, sir. I'm new to your channel and this credit card game. All right. Well, it is a community that welcomes new people with open arms. So M Forte, thank you for being here. I hope the live is helpful to you, as are all the videos. All right. Robert. Hey, Robert says, hey, wave you back. Sounds good. All right. So I think that catches us up on most of the comments so far. Again, thank you, Juan, for those 5 channel memberships. And if you are a beneficiary of Juan's great generosity, make sure to say thank you in the comments down below if you become a channel member because of what Juan offered you there. That's fantastic. We have 36 in here right now. That's pretty good, just 4 minutes in. So if you would hit the like button, I think there are 13 likes so far. That really just helps more people to come to the channel. That's really the reason I really like the channel memberships gifted, and also any little super chats or super stickers, even if they're 99 cents or whatever, because that helps the algorithm to kind of send this out to more people. So maybe they'll click in, which is what, every channel really wants, is to get more people exposed. So, okay. I've got several things on the agenda today. So I'm going to pull up the slides here. These are things that sometimes we talk about. This is kind of my general roadmap on the channel. And today it's a little bit different because I'm going to do the new developments. Don't have any restaurant rewards today. The last stuff that we often don't get to, I don't have any of that. But I have 2 centerpieces that I want to talk about today. that are kind of, well, very different than one another, but both kind of on my mind. So we're going to talk about some new developments. And that basically is a card that I just acquired, and I wanted some of your feedback on it. And then also in the centerpiece, I'm going to have two separate centerpieces. The first one will probably go pretty quick, and then the second one's kind of the big main event of the day, so to speak. All right, Mike Newland. Hey, Mike, great to have you here today. Says good afternoon, everyone. Great to have you here, Mike. All right. To get to the first one, I think we have 44 watching. That's awesome. To get to the first thing, new development. This is going to seem weird to everybody. I think I mentioned it with my live with Key on Friday night, but we just Friday got approved for the first time for our very first Amex personal platinum card. And it's kind of wild because we have both had, I mean, we've had a number of business platinums in our family, but if you don't know this, sometimes it's easier to get their business cards than it is their personal. If you're in pop-up jail, that does not mean you're in pop-up jail necessarily for business cards. Because I've been in pop-up jail. In fact, this one's Nona's card. We did it through her. But for me, I've tried to get the Morgan Stanley one because I really want, I think that's the best platinum card because you get the free authorized user. I mean, that's worth $200 a year right there. So that's the one I wanted. I've applied for the Schwab one before, pop-up jailed, Morgan Stanley pop-up jailed. I've applied for elevated offers on the regular platinum, just the vanilla, pop-up jailed. I'm just like, when are they going to let me out of this thing? And they just aren't. I mean, but they'll send me 6 business gold, business platinum offers with no lifetime language. It's the weirdest thing ever. So neither Nona or I have ever had the personal platinum before. Well, after a long ordeal, and I will tell you this, if they just suspect fraud or something and American Express says, we're going to have to contact you, and you're expecting a call from them, just be warned. The call will say, it won't just look like a spam call. It'll say spam, at least on our iPhones it did. It said spam. So we didn't even answer it 2 or 3 times till they left messages. And then we're like, oh, so the next time we did answer it. And then how we did it is we just called back to the number on the back of the card to make sure it was a real deal. So that was an ordeal. But long story short, got approved, getting our first Amex personal platinum. Now, I wasn't overly excited to jump into another $900 almost annual fee, but I started doing the math. So that the business platinum, I haven't really, I don't think I've ever kept one past year 1. I'll downgrade them and then upgrade again and stuff like that. But when it comes to the personal platinum, I started doing the math, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it's a lot better than the business platinum. Now, I suppose the business platinum is very valuable if you're going to use their portal to book flights on that one airline that you choose, but I'm not a portal person, and I'm definitely not a, yay, I get 1.62 or 1.65 or whatever it is cents per point. That doesn't excite me at all. So I'm just not going to do that. So it seems to me that what I'm getting back in credits on the personal platinum is just so much better. Because on the business, what I could bank on is the $600 FHR. That's really why we love these cards. Nona has become an FHR queen. I mean, she loves it. I mean, she's like, you mean this hotel? Like we went to the Cosmo and got upgraded and all that. And it was like $268. So the room was completely free, except for we did have to pay of course, the tax that they charge for resorts or whatever. But besides that, room was completely free. And they give us $100 in the dining. And they gave us, she's like, this is like wild. I mean, she just loves it. We just love it. So we've used 2 of them so far with my business platinum. So we love that. The $600 on the business platinum gives you that. It gives you a $200 airline credit. I know the hack might be gone. I've always used that with United. I did it already this year, got my money back. So we'll see how that goes next year. I'll switch airlines if I need to. And it'll be harder to get the $200 airline incidental back, but I will find a way to do it. They will not beat me in that way. So I'll get that. And then it's got the hardest one, which is the $50 a quarter Hilton credit. That one's kind of tough. I mean, I hate to do what Dugrass does, which is go down and buy Hot Pockets at the Hampton Inn. I mean, but If I have to do that, I will do that. So I'll get the $50, but it might not be a full $50 worth of value every quarter. But that's the credit. And then the $150 Dell is really, really easy to work with. So that comes out to what, like 600, 700, 800, 1,000, 1,150. But some of them are pushing it a little bit. So I think it's fairly break even. But this card doesn't seem break even at all. This is what I know we'll get back. We're going to get that $200 airline credit, but like I said, it's harder now. So we'll probably pick Delta, even though we don't use Delta a lot, but we'll probably pick Delta. $200 airline credit, the $600 FHR for sure. So there's $800. $400 Resi without question, without doubt, easy peasy. That'll be no problem. So right there, we're looking at $1,200 right there. $300 streaming, that's no problem. We already spend more than that on some of the categories that they offer, some of the qualifying different streaming services. So we're going to get that $300 back. And then $200 in Uber cash. I mean, I use that all the time. I'm a spreadsheet warrior. I always use my Uber every month because I just order my lunch at work and go get it at lunchtime. Big deal. So you add all that together, you're talking 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's like a pretty easy $1,700 back for me. And that's not counting Aura Ring. We might get one of those. I don't know. And it's not counting Equinox, and it's not counting Saks. That's just like gravy on top. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. But I'm thinking, now as far as multipliers, I might put some flights on it, even though I've got to choose. Do I want to put flights on this card, or do I? And I would love your opinion on this. If you were me, would you put your flights at 5X on the on the Platinum card, or would you put your flights at 5X on the Citi Prestige card? Which one would you do? Now, here's the pros and cons. I think the Citi Prestige card's cool because that means 5X American Airlines points. Okay. And Amex doesn't have that. But Citi Prestige doesn't have any travel protections at all. And I've never used travel protections, but who knows? Maybe I would need to. I mean, tell me which one you would do. Let me go back and look at some of the comments. I know some others have jumped in here. Let me see. Yeah, I remember Juan gifted those 5 channel memberships. That was awesome. Okay, a Key. I don't think I got. Oh, there she is. Okay. Yeah, Newland said hello. Key is here. Hey, Key. That was some of the funnest time I've had the other day on Friday night when we had that live together. That was a blast. Thank you so much for doing that with me. Dem said congratulations. Thank you, Dem. I hope it's something to be congratulated. Mike says, hey to Dem. Romine says, hey, everybody. Good to have you back, Romine. And Mike says, hey to Key. Cesar, good afternoon. Hey, Cesar, how are you doing? Hope to see you at the meetup this year again. I don't know if it can ever top the one you did, but it'll be good. Mike Newland says, hey to Cesar. A tier, I would love the personal platinum, also in pop-up jail. Also have the business platinum. I mean, it just seems like, yeah, that's a lot of people's story. Glad I made it. Hello, Rewards Master. Hey, Hybrid Vortex, good to have you back. Dem says, how much of a sub did they give you? We didn't get a good one, just the 80,000 points. I mean, we needed the other FHR. We found a couple situations where we need it. So, you know, we've been locked out of it for so long. We thought, well, if we can get it. And honestly, I'm not sure that the elevated offers are still coming. So not a great sub, but good question. Juan Garcia, Cesar, giving the fist bump. Mike says, so when you say pop-up jail, does that mean you're not approved for the card or for a card without sub? Without sub. Never been, because I've never proceeded. I mean, when they tell me I'm not going to get the sub, do you want to continue? No, I would not like to continue. So that's kind of where it ends up with that. Fly NY. I don't remember seeing Fly NY in here before. Good to have you here. I use the Hilton credit on Surpass each quarter at a local restaurant that's in a Hilton hotel. Yeah, I'm going to see. I'm not sure any of our local Hiltons in the smaller community where I live have much of a restaurant except for maybe a coffee bar or something. But it might work there. I might try it. So I'm going to have to experiment. A tier says, for me, there is no bonus, so I didn't do the application. Yeah, that was me too. I've had the platinum since 2014. Dim says lifetime keeper for me, especially now. I think it got better with the refresh. It wasn't as appealing to me before, but now $1,700, pretty easy to get back. I mean, it's like a money maker. Key says, hey, Mike and the gang. Awesome. Fly New York, Flex New York. I would rather put flights on the platinum because of the travel protections. Okay, answered my question. Appreciate that. Dem says prestige for me, although it depends on where I'm trying to accumulate. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard because they're both 5X. So it's like, yeah, what am I doing here? Eat, sleep, and points. Good to have you here. Says what's going on and congrats. Hybrid Vortex, the protections always win me over. Okay, so we got 2 votes for protection. Cesar says I put it on the platinum because of the protections and overall customer service. And the problem is, Cesar, and I mean, you may have heard me say this or not, and people believe me and some don't, but my customer service with Citi is better than my customer service with American Express. So, I mean, but I've had the Prestige card for years, and people don't know this, but the Prestige and the Elite card have a different customer service department than their regular customer service. I think Dem can probably confirm that because he's had the Prestige for years too. And I've had great customer service. So I think to me, that's not a factor because it's good customer service either way, seems like. Eat, sleep, and points. Did you use your City Nights card this weekend? I did, but I got to say, I'm quite upset at myself because we went to eat. I took 2 little grandkids. We took them to Chick-fil-A, or as my granddaughter likes to say, Bop, I want to go to Chick-fil-A. So we went to Chick-fil-A, and they ate down their nuggets real fast to get in the playland. But I went up and I paid for Chick-fil-A, and I just instinctively pulled my Prestige card out, and I got to the table, and then they wanted chocolate milk, some more chocolate milk. So I went back up to the counter, and I reached for my Prestige, and I was pulling out. I actually pulled out the card behind it. There's the Elite, and I'm like, it's Saturday night. What am I doing? So yes. To answer your points, I did use my Elite card this weekend for $3.75. And I used the Prestige, so I got 5X on the other. But yeah, that was kind of a bummer. All right. Dim says, hey, Mike. Source King. Hey, Source King. Good to have you here. Great channel member. Also a spreadsheet warrior. I've got 2 personal platinums. And $1,790 feels like a lot, but I can't deny the math, showing that I get more than that back in value. Yeah, a lot more than that. I mean, I don't know how I'd use the streaming twice. That's the only one. I guess I could order Wall Street Journal and other stuff I like, but I'm trying to debate that because I think I could use most of that stuff twice. But the streaming, that won't be a little tough. But let me know how you do that, Source King. Cesar says, hey, Juan. Hey, Mike. Jessica. Good to have you, Jessica. My player 2 has our household platinum, and we pay for authorized users and still find it worth it for the lounge access. Yeah, the lounge access is good. You get that also on the business platinum that I already have. So, but yes, lounge access is good. MJ Tastic gives $9.99. Thank you so very much. Great to catch you live again, RM. What did I miss? Well, we're just going over the fact that I got my first platinum card ever. I know that sounds wild since I have $7,000 in annual fees. And before that, none of them were the platinum card. So that's crazy, but it is my first one. MJ Tastic. Hey, Kiki, going to reach out to you upon my return from Disney to meet up lunch on me. Oh, hey, don't pass that up, Key. Hey, Cesar, your videos are fire. Yeah, check out Cesar's channel. Dim was thinking of going for the MS for the free authorized user, but I'm not sure that it'll get nerfed. Yeah, I wanted that one, and I still may try for it again if I can find a way out of my pop-up jail situation. I'm going to get that Morgan Stanley for sure. Dim, I pay for an authorized user on my platinum. Kiki, awesome, safe travels. Don't rush home. Not to 18 inches of snow. Cesar says, hey to MJ. Can't wait to meet you in person. Stinky Monkey. Your Prestige really changes things, even without travel protections. Yeah, it does. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be tough for me. I may, honestly, since it's just kind of right there, I might put the flights on this just to keep her out of pop-up jail. And I don't know if that's the formula, but it might be because you know how much they really like people to spend on their card. So maybe that'll help. Filmo, don't worry about travel protections. I hope one day to call to work because I'm stuck in outer Mongolia. Well, I've never been to Mongolia, but yeah. Sundo, I agree with customer service. It's been outstanding with my elite card, better than Amex. See what I mean, Cesar? It's like that's consistent with people who have their higher level cards at least. Cesar, I have the elite, and I agree it's a different customer service, but at least in my case, I had some great experiences using Amex. Okay, cool. And he says, plus the protections. Says hello to Filmo. TJ Rosenbaum, if you pay your YouTube premium, that's $25 off every month with the digital credit. Yeah. I just usually watch the ads, but I might switch to that one of these days. MJ Tastic, sorry about the snow key. Looking forward to meeting you too. Filmo says hello to Cesar. Let's see, we're almost caught up. Sendo, only travel protection I've used is the primary rental car insurance. Yeah, that is probably the one I would think I might use someday. K-State Nate, good to have you here. Nate says, hey, Bop, eat, sleep, and points. Takiki says that's a lot of snow. It is. And Source King, one platinum pays for YouTube Premium and Hulu, and the other one partially covers YouTube TV. Okay, cool. And A tier, did Nona have a lower Amex card with offers before? She's never she had a gold card in the past. And we have no use for a gold card. Those multipliers are useless to us. I mean, it's a 4x on dining. Yay. I mean, we have 5x and 6x. So it's like, it's not a big deal. And then grocery stores, we shop at Walmart. We live out in the country. The only place that'll deliver to our house is Walmart. So that's useless. So we just ended up getting rid of it. And she does have a few other like low level Amex cards. So yeah, this would be her first big time one. So we're hoping next for her is Hilton Aspire to have two of them. So Kevin Hawthorne, hello from Lakeland, Florida. Always good to have you here, Kevin. And A tier, YouTube Premium is a game changer. All right, cool. All right, let's see how many we got. 61 watching. That's pretty awesome. And 30 likes. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Also, it's always a good time for me to plug. Nona has a new video of our Cosmo review in Vegas on Away Again Travel. So if you haven't subscribed, I think she has 125 subscribers now. It's inching up there, and she gets exponentially excited every time. So if you haven't subscribed to Away Again Travels with Nona and Bop, go over there and check it out. There's a link in the description below. TJ says, I have heard data points that they're about the Obsidian card coding as grocery at Walmart and Target if you choose groceries to 3X category. Really? Okay, that could be significant. And free music is the Amex Platinum primary or secondary CD. It's secondary CDW on the Platinum. I use the Ritz card now. Used to use the Sapphire Preferred. Okay, let me move on to main event number one, or centerpiece number one, card user profile quadrants. Okay, when I say frustration, I don't mean frustration at anybody in particular, but I love YouTube credit card content. I was the biggest consumer of it imaginable. I mean, some of you guys might have me beat because some of you guys are on every live and all that. But as far as just listening to every single video that came across YouTube on credit cards, man, even back in 2020, 2019, 2021, I mow a lot. I work on my tractor a lot, and I drive a lot, and I am listening. That's my great joy is I listen to YouTube content, and I get very frustrated sometimes. And this is partly why I'm running my channel the way I am. I try to put out videos every few days, even though I'm a busy guy and I work more than one job and you know, but I just get up at 6 in the morning and work on YouTube stuff for an hour. It's like my little hobby part-time thing, right? And that's why my videos aren't the most edited or all of that, because it's just like it's a hobby to me more than anything. But I just remember what it was like to want some more information to consume, and A, there not being nothing to consume, nothing to watch at all. I mean, because you could run it if you're mowing for 3 hours, you can run out of videos pretty fast. I mean, pretty fast. So that was a frustration. But the other frustration, and this one continues to this day, is that so much of YouTube content does not apply to me as far as credit card content. It's just not applicable, right? So some of it is stuff like, what is the best first credit card? Yeah, well, let's take me back to 1990. You know, that's when I would need that. I mean, I don't need that. I want strategy videos. I want, you know, I even like what's in my wallet videos and what I'm changing up on my wallet, stuff like that. Those are strategy videos. I don't need the basic information on cards again. And then some of it also, I'm like, I find myself, and I'm not frustrated people because I try to be, you know, gracious and patient with people. I mean, we all have different perspectives, and I can respect that we all have different opinions. I mean, that's great. I get disagreed with in my comment section all the time, and I'm good with that. But I still watch videos, and I'm thinking, where are you coming from? I mean, the biggest thing now is, you know, why is the Built Palladium, why are you ranking it at an F tier? F, a card that can earn you 3.6 of the best points in the game per dollar spent. I mean, why would you? Okay, I get it. I mean, they had a bad rollout. Yeah, they're run by a bunch of 8th graders, it seems like, whatever. But but yet it's F tier and then A tier. I've seen videos that put the Chase Sapphire Prefer in the S tier, And then I see videos that say things like, and of course, everybody knows that the best currency is Chase Ultimate Rewards. And I'm like, well, there's a place for, I mean, I've used Chase Ultimate, but everybody knows. Like, you know, if you don't agree with this, you must not know anything. You know, and I'm like, it's just like, So I don't know if anybody else has these frustrations. Maybe it's just me. But I look at this stuff and I'm thinking, well, you know, maybe there's a way that we could identify at the outset who this video is for, who this material is for. So what I'm saying is that maybe if I had a hint going in what this material is, and basically that hint told me this is for you or this is not for you, then maybe that would, you know, and I would still watch some for entertainment value, I'm sure, but maybe I would go into it differently and not be, like I said, frustrated might be the wrong word, or disappointed or whatever, but maybe just be able to relax and say, yeah, this isn't for me. You know, this is from a very, very different perspective. So I don't know, comment in the comments if you have other frustrations with YouTube, then let me know. I mean, all of us creators want to be better at it. But when I look at this, I tried to devise what would be a good way, like, to distinguish. And that's when I came up with this. So this is what it is. The quadrants. Because I think that, and it's not perfect, so please don't think, I mean, in fact, some of the cards may fit right on the cross in the middle, right in the X, because they might fit really every one of these people. And then some cards are going to be way out on the extremes, right? Because they only fit these quadrants. But the quadrants I'm looking at are low spend in the top left corner, low effort. So these are people that don't have a lot of spend. Like, for instance, the Built Palladium card. I think a lot of the people that are hating on that card don't have a lot of spend, because they're saying stuff like, well, to make the card work, you got to put all of your spend on it. No. I mean, I can make the card work awesome for me by putting like $1,500 a month to spend on it. Well, that's not even close to all my, that's like utilities and just a couple other things in my world, you know, and with most of the people I'm hanging with at my stage of life, I mean, $1,500 is, that's just not a ton of spend. I mean, I got plenty left over to do all my sign-up bonuses and all that stuff. But yet they say these things kind of broadly that basically anybody to make this work, you got to put all your spend on the card. No, that is a low spend. And a lot of times those folks are also being very critical because it's so hard, it's so complex. So that is a low spend, low effort perspective. You see where I'm coming from? Well, then on the top right quadrant, these would be people who have low spend but are high effort. These are gamers. They just aren't advanced enough in their career and their life that maybe they don't have a lot of money to spend, but they want to milk every bit out of it. And they're willing to play the game, and they're willing to research, and they're willing to dive in, and they're willing to run spreadsheets, right? So this is the kind of person I was when I had low spend. I was a low spend, high effort person because I was always trying to find the deal, right? So the low spend, high effort person, they're going to look at cards very different. They'll like some cards that the low spend, low effort person won't like. And they'll probably accept higher annual fees, even though it'll be a big chunk out of their money and their budget for those annual fees. They might accept those annual fees because they're willing to play the game. So they're going to look differently. Well, then the bottom left quadrant is a high spend, low effort person. I've got friends in this category. I've got family in this category. These people make money. These people spend a lot of money, but they don't want to mess with it. I've got people I know that I'm close to that have an Amex Platinum card, Chase Sapphire Reserve, bunch of business cards, and they don't get back a single credit. And they don't care because they run 500 grand of business expenses through those cards. They do not care. They do not care. This is a high spend, low effort person. And that person, they're going to want the platinum card because they want to walk in those lounges every time, right? They want the perks, but they don't care so much about the credits. But then in the bottom right quadrant, there's the high spend, high effort person. This is the person who's going to game the system, and they got the funds to do it with many, many cards. This is probably going to be the person that most often has a lot of cards that have a lot of fees, but they're getting back so much in that. This is the gamer, right? So tell me what you think of this as far as a rubric to be able, this is my professorism coming out in me, but a tool to be able to say, well, what is this material for? Who does this material apply to? Let me know what you think. Well, let's see how many are in here right now. We got 76 watching. That's a good number. Thank y'all. And 42 people have hit the like button. Well, let's see where we are at comments. I got to catch up. And it is, okay, I remember we had that. Okay, I think we're right here. TJ says, I've heard data points out there that the Obsidian card's going to grocery. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we already had that one. Free music, asked about the CDW. Okay, Hybrid Vortex. You can get primary for $18. Oh, yeah, I think you can with Amex. That's an add-on you can do for them, for sure. A tier. Love the Cosmo review. Makes me want to go to Las Vegas. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Nona, she is the funnest person. And I love going and doing that stuff with her because I hope you got to the blooper reels at the end because she's just not used to being on camera. And she's just, so I've been doing some blooper reels at the end and I think they're hilarious. So enjoy those. FLX, New York. I can confirm the built Obsidian earns 3x at my closest Walmart and 3x at my Target. You know what? That makes that card for sure a Chase Sapphire preferred killer. I mean, I saw a video recently where they were saying a good setup would be to have both. And I'm thinking, why? Why do you need any Chase if you have built and a better card? Why? But yeah, that's crazy. Sleepy Rod, that's just Chase fanboys who want to miss Chase. Admit Chase is good for Hyatt, not Hyatt. Chase is a meh. So no Hyatt, Chase is a meh program. I know, and there's a lot of that. I mean, they've had good marketing. They clearly have. Gentleman Explorer, Amex has given my wife and I 4 business platinums and 4 business golds in 8 months. I have no other strategy at this point. Agree. Business plats are one and done. May maintain a single business goal. Yeah, business gold card's not too bad. I wish I had a little bit more credits to completely offset the annual fee, but that $240 credit on is pretty good. I do have one of those. So the Gentleman Explorer, you are definitely in the bottom right quadrant. That's where you are, because nobody has 4 business plats and 4 business golds in 8 months that doesn't have high spend and high effort. That's awesome. This is the channel for you. Glad to have you here. All right. Free music. Some content creators are merely reading the more info page of different cards without offering any value add info or strategy. I ignore their content now. Yeah, I understand. I'm just looking for content though. Sometimes I'm stuck with listening to history videos or something, you know. Dim, not having big spend is actually better due to accelerator caps, although there's ways to optimize the accelerator to get them past the 5x25 that we recently covered. Well, that's true. It does reduce, but you're still never going to get below 2x. In fact, I think it'd be hard on the year to get down to 2x if you're using accelerator and you're paying some rent or mortgage or whatever. So yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, you're right. But the high spend though, that's fine because the high spender is going to be using their extra spend for sign-up bonuses. So yeah, but as far as the built card, you're right. It reduces once you get over that 75% of your mortgage or whatever on option 2 with the built cash, it starts to reduce little by little by little, even if you're using the accelerator. Okay, Oscar says, as someone who is low spend, high effort, Amex is so good. Yeah, I mean, for low spend, high effort, okay, that's an interesting exercise. Let's talk about which credit card issuers, which one do they fit in? You know, this is an overgeneralization. They all have cards that fit in all of them. But low spend, low effort, I guess Chase cards. I mean, they're kind of there, right? Except for the reserve, and that's definitely a high spend, high effort card. That's like a high spend, extremely high, mind-numbing effort, right? But Amex cards, you're right. They're the low spend, high effort person can game it. They can game it. Built cards hard to game. It's kind of the high spend, the Palladium at least. But now the Obsidian, that low spend, high effort person, the Obsidian or the blue card could be great. So that's thank you, Oscar, for adding that because that kind of gave a little different perspective to this for sure. All right, who's next here? MJ Tastic. This quadrant framework makes so much sense. This will help me advise my friends and my family. Well, thank you, MJ. I appreciate that. I put some thought into it. I'm like, what's a way, you know, because I'm having to do kind of this stuff for work all the time, you know, that educator and all that. So I'm like, what's a way that we could kind of, you know, understand someone and then maybe advice, because it's not a one size fits all. Oscar, I really like the quadrant idea. FLX, I love this way of thinking. However, from your perspective, what do you consider high spend for a typical month? $5,000 or more. That's what I would think of as high spend. I would say $2,000 to $4,000 would be, you know, that's probably medium spend. And I would say low spend is probably somebody, I'm just throwing that off the top of my head. I haven't analyzed it or taken a calculator to it, but that's just kind of what I think of. Channel 8024. What's a rough threshold do you use for delineating low versus high spend? Well, I just kind of shared that. Any initial thoughts on the U.S. points, United points change? It's good for people who have cards. It's just a trend in the industry. They're moving people to wanting United makes more money on their credit cards than they do on flying their planes. That's been understood. Delta had 1% of GDP on their cards last year or the year before. I mean, their businesses, they run planes so that people will use their credit cards. That's their business. So United's just trying to tap into that. So you're going to see more and more of that. They're going to keep pushing people. Thanks for the question, Virgil. Juan says, I'm probably a low spend, high effort person, have some high annual fee cards and willing to play the game to get sub and maximize credits that benefits my family. Excellent. That's who I was for years and years and years. MJ Tastic, $2,000 per month in spend. That's low spend, right? In your quadrant. Yeah, I think it would be like somewhere maybe 1/3 above the center line there, going from up to down, up to down. So yeah, I would say that's lower spend, but not low spend. I mean, it's, like I said, I think you're just bumping up to middle spend, at least how I would. And that's, of course, it'd be different for everybody. I'm just talking off the top of my head there. Cesar, in my case, I have zero use for Built and the Palladium. Yeah, I understand. Some people don't. I wouldn't pay $300 for the card. Makes sense. Romine says, same here, Cesar. Hybrid Vortex, that is crazy. 3X on Target and Walmart is intense. That's why it probably has a cap of 25K, probably. It's still a great benefit that nobody else is given. FLX says, Cesar, would you pay 95 for the Obsidian? Cesar, nope. Stinky Monkey, Bop, what is your fallback option for catch-all spend if Built wasn't factored in here? What about everyone else's? My fallback option for catch-all is going to be double cash with City because I really value City points. So that's where it would be. Family John, Travel John, channel member, says, sorry to be late to the party. Was out at brunch with my daughter. How's everyone doing? Doing good? Good to have you here. FLX, Cesar Joel, it's because of the great earning on your City cards. And Cesar says, yes. And I mean, I have those City cards too. It's just that I, because of mortgage and because of Points Accelerator, man, I really value those Built points and I can get so many of them. But I certainly respect anybody who's running a City setup because I've done it forever. Romine, no rent, no mortgage, 4X with Gold Card, groceries and restaurants, airlines and hotels, 4X with CSR, 5X for new custom cash, taxes, insurance, catch all, 3 to 4 subs, and I'm trying to hit 15K on my W. Yeah, that's a good setup. And if you have no rent or no mortgage, yeah, that changes the equation for Built if you have no rent or mortgage, for sure. 15K on World of Hyatt. And I only wish Chase would make World of Hyatt a 2X catch-all. Oh, that would be nice. A lot of people would love that. Cesar, 1 Elite, 4 custom cash, Ink Cash, Freedom Flex, and 3 other 3X cards. Blue Business Plus also there in case of 0. So I would never bother with Built Palladium. I also wouldn't value the Built hotel credits. Yeah, they're not great. That's true. That much. Free music. I'm high spend, low effort, since I'm limited in the amount of travel I can do to justify the cost. That makes sense. Cesar, if the card had 100K, I would get it for the offer like I do with any other card and then cancel on year 2. Makes sense. Free music. Built Palladium is a great high spend, low effort card. Yeah, but I think it actually works better for high spend, high effort because, man, you can game that thing. Points Dexter, afternoon all. Do we think Clueless Clueless, got it, will let us get 2 Built cards next year? I don't know, but I might get Nona if we get in Walmart at 3, or if we do the Accelerator 4X, we might get that in Nona's name. And I know they'll let us do that. But as of right now, they won't let one person have 2 cards. Source King, Built is targeting lower left quadrant. Lower left quadrant, okay. Their complexity attracts upper right quadrant maximizers. Yep, I think that's a good assessment. I'm in the same with consuming YouTube content with drives and mowing. You provide excellent content and new insights. I'm moving spend from City Chase to City Elite Built Palladium. Which AA card should be next? Well, it depends. Do you fly enough to need the lounge access more than 4 times a year? That's kind of the big question. Really, the Globe card's not too bad if a person doesn't fly very often. It's $350, but you get a companion cert. I mean, it's not too bad. But I like the Elite card. I'm probably going to keep it. In fact, that's what the next part is about. And we're at the end of comments here. So let me see how many are here, and then we're going to move to the second centerpiece for today. 80 people watching, 48 likes. Thank y'all. Let me get Oscar real quick. Wells Fargo, low spend, low effort. Yeah, that's what they are. Wells Fargo, that's perfect. Low spend. Amex, low spend, high effort. Yeah. Capital One and City might be high spend, low effort. Yeah. Built is high spend, high effort, maybe. Not sure where to put my chase as a whole. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. FLX, what I like best about your lives is they have prepared content, not just back and forth with people in the chat. Yeah, well, thank you. I learned that from Dugras because he's the master of it. I'm high spend, high effort on my second accelerator, fly from EWR to Philadelphia, CAE to Charlotte a lot, have Ritz. Okay, cool. All right, let me. That's my quadrant as well. Got some of those cards myself. In fact, I think, I have the Ritz card too, and I'm going to talk about it right now in my next centerpiece, free night certificate overload. I don't know if any of you are struggling with this, but I am just. I'll tell you, the biggest thing on YouTube that just is totally inapplicable to me is talking about hotel points. They're totally inapplicable. Not because I don't think that Hyatt has good redemption rates. I do. Not because I don't think I prefer it has good redemption rates. And if I were using hotel points, I'd be transferring from City 1 to 2 to Choice and staying in some of those overseas hotels because they got nice ones overseas. In the U.S., but overseas, yeah. But I can't use any hotel points because this is what I'm dealing with. I got to deal with all of these hotel credits. And it's just like, that means I got so many cash bookings I got to do. It's just like overwhelming. So let me go through and tell you what I got. Ready? Buckle up, by the way. Put on your seatbelt because, some of you, I want to see if you're in the same boat. Chase Sapphire Preferred, it is just my tax to be able to transfer our Chase points. But I'm getting tired of it, and I might try to figure something else out because it is not, I will not defend it. I will not defend it. It is not a good card, but it does have a $50 hotel credit. I did use it, by the way, this year already, just on a last minute thing. My AA Globe card has a $100 AA Hotels credit. It's pretty decent credit because AA Hotels give you loyalty points too, and they give you extra miles. And that card earns 6x at AA Hotels. City Strata Premier has a $100 discount credit, whatever, when you spend $500 through the portal. There have been years we have not used that, to be honest. But City Strata Premier is Nona's gateway to transfer partners, sort of. And we'll talk about that in a second. The IHG Premier card has a certificate of free night cert that we have to use. And I value that at about 150 most of the time. It could be used for more if we gamed it, but we kind of use these on positioning flights and stuff like that. Same thing with World of Hyatt, the 1 to 4 category certificate, I think is worth about 150 bucks on average. My City Prestige card has a $250 general travel credit. Now, I often use that for flights, but it can be used for hotels, and it's just directly with the hotel, directly with the flight. It is the easiest. It is just like Chase's travel, with the Sapphire Reserve, the $300 they give. It's just like that. It is super, 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 super easy to use. So it's good. That Strata Elite, I said that Nori's gateway card to all the different partners was through the Strata Premier. Well, she also has the Elite. We're going to have to decide which one to keep. The Elite card has a $300 discount on hotels through their portal that's have to stay 2 nights, but it's easy to use. You can stay in 2 $150 nights and it'll be free with that credit. So there's that. Venture X, of course, has a travel credit. You can use it through their portal for flights, or you can use it for hotels. Got that. The Ritz card. The Ritz card gives me an 85K cert every year that I value at about $600 because you can't stay at the very top end with the 85K cert. You can't top it up to 100. So that gets you a little bit better, but you are topping it up with some more points. So I think just the 85K cert, from what I've looked at, is worth around, it might be up to $700, but it's around $600. Then you've got the Amex Business Platinum, $600 in FHR credits. Then you've got the American Express Personal Platinum, $600 in FHR credits. And then you've got the big bad boy of the bunch, the Hilton Aspire card. I value, because you get the free night cert at any Hilton property, and we have never used it for less than $800 in value. So that's where I valued it. And then you get the two $200 resort credits. It's $200 each. Just used it in Vegas, helped pay for the room. So it's $1,200. So you add all that together. I got 1,200. Let's see. Let's do a little math here. We got 1,800, 2,400, 2,700, 3,000, 3,600, 3,850, 39, 4,000, 4,150, 42, 43, $4,400 in hotel credits. $4,400. Oh, somebody just said, where's the Built Palladium? That's 400 more. 4,400 plus 400 is $4,800 in hotel credits. I'm sorry, y'all, but I mean, when am I going to use any hotel points? I have $4,400 in hotel credits. $4,400, $4,800. So, I mean, I can't even believe I forgot the Palladium on this. That's what I'm looking at. Let me see what some of your comments are. Okay, a little behind on the live. Just likes to lot of videos don't seem to apply to you. There's a ton of content that does not apply to most people, and creators are clueless about it too. Yeah, I mean, yeah. FLX, I can justify the Sapphire Preferred for $10 a month for DoorDash at convenience store. I will not use the hotel credit. Okay, $10 a month. Yeah, I've not used that, but I could see that would make sense. Chanel, side note, just listen to a few of your United Mileage Plus X app and going down the rabbit hole of where all can I do this? LOL. It's definitely underrated. Found myself using United often. So thank you. You're welcome. I hope it's helpful to you. Jay Kelsey, I agree about the hotel points. I am dumping the Chase Sapphire Preferred when the annual fee hits. Yeah, it's just a tax. Damn, you missed the Prestige 2X fourth night. Oh yeah. I didn't even count that because that's even more. I get 2 fourth night free, and that has exponential value. I mean, with the City Prestige, usually I only use it maybe once a year because we don't stay a lot of 4-night stays in one hotel. We go 4 nights, but we hop hotels. Can you use the Venture X annual credit to cover car rentals? I think so, yes. Damon G. Young, good to have you, Damon. I got 5 platinum FHR credits, 1 Delta stay, Built Palladium hotel credits. Also have 3 Marriott free nights and 2 Aspires. Hotel points are worthless to me. Why is nobody in the creator space just talking about the fact that there's a whole lot of us who aren't going to use any hotel points because we're having to pay cash for a lot to get our money back? I mean, this has got to apply to a lot of people. I mean, it's $5,000 or more worth of hotels. So yeah, that's kind of my point by all of this. Where's Built Palladium? Thank you, K-State. You're right. I missed it. Dim, keep in mind that Built has home away from home and there's overlap with FHR. Use the 200 credit with the $100 Built cash. Yep. I'm planning to do that. I do think their prices are a little more expensive though. Dim, have you found that to be true? Because I've compared it a little bit, and the places like I'm looking in Taiwan, Hong Kong for the fall, and I'm like, this is a little more expensive. And I go to FHR, and yeah, it's a little, at least in those locations, it seemed to be. Tell me what you think. Not me again. Good to have you here. Love my CSP for the $10 DoorDash. Yeah, we had somebody else comment on that. Makes sense. Family Travel John says, I'm in the same boat, but not quite to this extent. That's a lot of credits. Yeah, it's a lot. It's too much. I'm going to have to trim. Tampa Travel Premier Hotel credit is hard to use. Yes, I agree. To me, the cost of having the ability to transferring to partners. Yeah, that's why I'm debating. Do we keep the Premier or do we keep the Elite? And I don't know. I don't know which one. I do like the Elite. I don't really need it, but I like it. Just I like that 6X sometimes, and I might use that. You know, sometimes I book for friends, and I might use that 12X through the portal for their hotels or something. So that might work. But all right, well, how many we got in here? We're just about to wrap up. I only got one more slide. 97. 107 is the most I've ever had in a live ever in my life. So if you haven't hit that like button or subscribed, or you wanted to give a little super chat or anything to help it boost it, I would love to hit that past that 107, but probably won't get there today. We're at 97 right now. All right. So this is what I did. This is kind of what I'm trying to determine, because I think I do have too much. I mean, I got to trim this. Value of certificate. So what I did is the first letter is a grade, and this is, of course, from S tier, which is the best, down to D tier of the card itself. And the second in red is the value to me, and this is to me, of the certificate. So Chase Sapphire Preferred, it is a D card to me. It always shocks me when somebody puts this in the S tier or the A tier. I'm like, you do know there's better cards. I mean, the Strata Premier is like a lot better card, but it is a value. The value of the certificate is a D, because $50 and you got to go through their portal and all that. It's just a pain. And then the value of the card, though, it's a D tier card to me, but I keep it as a C tier card, because, you know, I got to have a way to transfer. I got too many Chase points. Got to have a way to transfer them. So that's kind of where it hangs out. So that's what I'll determine, keep or cancel on that. The City Globe card for AA, the value of the certificate, it's a B tier certificate because it's with American Hotels, and American Hotels are really nice. I like that because of the LPs and the extra points you get and all that. But the card itself is kind of a C tier card. It could be good for the person who doesn't fly AA all the time, but I fly AA a lot. So, and I need more than 4 lounge passes. And so that's kind of how I'm determining it. The Strata Premier, that it's the worst credit on here. $100 for $500 stay. I just put it at a D tier credit, but the card is a B tier card. It is a very, very good card. And I think for people starting off in that far left quadrant on the top, the low spend, low effort people, I think it's a S tier card, and maybe even some of the other quadrants too. It's a great card. I mean, it's a great card, but for me, it's a B tier card. The IHG Premier, it's a BB. You know, the certificate's fine. It's 150, costs $95 a year, 99, whatever. You get a little bit more value, easy to use. The card's pretty decent, so it's a BB. Same thing with World of Hyatt, B tier card, B tier certificate. Prestige. Now, the thing is, the Prestige card, I can use that $250 for airfare, which is what I'll do. But it is an S tier card, and it is an S tier certificate. And so it's an SS. There's only one other of those on this list. The Strata Elite, it's a B tier certificate. It's pretty easy to use. It is 2 nights, but they don't give you don't have to stay in expensive places. And then it's a B tier card, you know, so it's not a bad card at all. And if I didn't have the Prestige, it might be an A tier card, but that's kind of where I see it. The Venture X is an A tier certificate because you can use it for flights too, and it's easy to use. You got to go through their portal, but it is easy to use. But the card is a B tier card for me. Yes, it's a 2X, but I don't need that now. And they nerfed the lounge policy, so it's an AB. The Ritz card, again, it's a super value certificate. It's an 85K cert. It's worth $600, but the value of the card, it has useless multipliers. It does have good travel protections, and it has great priority pass. But I mean, do you realize how many priority passes I have? I mean, a lot of them. So for me, it's a C tier card with a A tier certificate. Business Platinum, it's an A certificate. I mean, we love the FHR. It is awesome. But the card is a B tier card. I mean, it doesn't have any multipliers that are useful to me. But, I mean, it does have other credits that kind of offset that huge annual fee. I'm thinking now, even though we just got the personal platinum, it's an A certificate because it's the same FHR, and it's an A card because I'm getting $1,700 back on $895. And then we get to the Spire card. The Hilton Aspire card is an S tier certificate, And even though I'm never going to spend on this card, I think it's an S tier card because it gives diamond status. And that's just awesome. I mean, we get upgrades overseas all the time with diamond status. So that's where these are. Let me know what y'all think. I'd love to hear your final comments. If you place any of these in a different spot, let me know, and I'd appreciate it. Let me see. We got 90 watching. That's still pretty good here at the end. Let me go back up and see who we got. Forgot Fortnite free. Dim reminded me of the home away from home. Tampa Travel said Premier Hotel credits is hard to use. To me, the cost of having the ability to transfer to partners. Yep, that's true with Strata Premier, kind of like a tax like the preferred. SCC 30, I'll never be loyal to any hotel. Hotel multipliers aren't worth it to me. I just want to stay in any place that's worth the money only. That's not a bad strategy at all. Dim, thank you, my friend. Dim gives $4.99. Make sure you subscribe to Away Again Travels. Nona would be happy, and that makes my world happier. So, yeah, I'd appreciate that. She had, when I started this, she had 125 subscriptions. If she had 130 after this live, she's going to be so excited. She's going to be jumping for joy. So that would be cool. Thank you, Dim. And thank you for the gift as well. Appreciate it. James Waves, good to see you, James. Good to have you here. Nuracan, $4.99. Thank you, my friend. Great live. I enjoy the content. Palladium S tier for me. Palladium S tier for you. Me too. Life is so rich. For the Strata Elite, I bet there'll be retention offers, so probably won't cancel until year 3. There might be retention offers, so I'll try that. Well, I think that's the last of our comments. We're at an hour and 1 minute. I try to keep them an hour. So thank you, everybody who was here. Going back through some of the gifts and channel memberships. Nurcan, $4.99. Dim gave $4.99. Thank you both so much for that. Kind of scrolling back up here. Let's see what else we had. MJ Tastic gave a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. And I know we had, Juan Garcia gifted 5 Rewards Master memberships. So thank you, everybody, for your great support of the channel. Appreciate it so much. And I will be back here probably Friday night with a live extra, but for sure next Sunday afternoon at the same time. Thank you. Appreciate every one of you.